Hey guys, Engineer Wannabe here with my good friends here, Keith, Sam, Bobby, and Toran. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for joining me here tonight. Um, we will be talking about maybe a couple of Seiko models, not just Seiko models, but a couple of models that are kind of permeating the market. I've noticed a few of them pop up at my neighboring ADs. So I figured now would be a good time to talk about it because we haven't talked about them previously. And we're also going to talk about bracelets, just bracelets and straps, just to see, what we prefer. And, feel free to chime in. Feel free to chime in, guys. Let us know what you prefer. Let us also know what you're wearing. But yeah, let's get started with the wristwatch checks. Keith is always clockwise to me. So, Keith, what are you wearing?
It works out like that, but I'm wearing the Loewe Neptune, black and gilt. Seen it before. Nothing too exciting. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm really on the spot now.
Yeah. Feel self-conscious.
So you mentioned misaligned on that.
The what?
Oh, I guess you were using the timing bezel.
Yeah, I did time some dinner the other night, so hasn't moved since then.
Very cool, Sam.
I am for the 10th time wearing the same watch. It's the Larco Augsburn.
That's great, man.
For the 10th time on a Hirsch strap. I'd like to talk about the Hirsch, how that strap is going later today. So, yeah.
Good review, by the way.
Sorry, I kind of glitched out there. Nice, nice piece there as usual, Sam. And Bobby, what's on your wrist?
I'm wearing, since Sanjay was giving love to the Speedmaster last week, I'm going to give love to his favorite brand, the Grand Seiko SPG 413 Spring. On a titanium bracelet. I guess it's bracelets are the theme today.
Yeah.
Bracelets and straps, right?
Yep. Very nice. That's probably my favorite of the Four Seasons. And Toran, what's on your wrist?
Yeah, I'm actually wearing Grand Seiko too. I got my SBGN 003, the 9F GMT. I know a lot of people were repping this watch last week in the chat, so I just felt like it was appropriate.
Sorry, you said a lot of people are ripping it?
No, repping it. Represent.
Oh, okay, right. Okay. Yeah. So I was like, I don't remember that. I thought we were really positive about it.
Yeah, great watch.
Yeah, it is. That's the blue dial or the black dial? I always mix those two up.
The 003 is the black dial.
Okay. Very nice. Today I am wearing my Grand Seiko SBGY 003. Let me go full screen on that. There we go. I have it on this new deluxe strap that I got. It's called a Russian hatch grain. It kind of looks like quilted leather, but it's not really quilted. I'm becoming a real strap snob, which isn't good. I tried to go back to like one of
it's like you're getting bed sheets. How many thread count? What's the thread count of that strap?
only the finest Egyptian cotton, please. Nothing else. I can't stand the other stuff. No, yeah, it's not good because I tried to go back to one of my old Hirsch straps, and because it was really hot, and I thought, I'll put it on one of those, but I was like, it's so uncomfortable. It's sticky, and so I'm spoiling myself, and it's not good. But yeah, let's jump into the chat. Sorry, I'm a little low energy. I just mowed the lawn, and it was it wasn't hot, but we have a huge yard, so it's not fun. Keith, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. Sam too. Wow, all the stars are here. Wilson, hey man, how's it going? Yeah, nap time is over. Michael, hey man, good to see you. There's never a good time to talk about Seiko models. Yeah, you're right. We'll talk about that too. How bad it is to talk about Seiko models. Leia, hey man, wow, it's good to see you. Isn't it super early for you or something? Kevin, good to see you as well from Lakeland, Florida. How far away is that from you,
It's
Bobby?
more near Orlando, so it's like
Okay.
3.5 hours.
Right. Jason, good to see you. Took YouTube a bit to update, I guess. No, I actually lost track of time. These guys were just sitting here waiting for me.
I almost said something, and I'm like, I'll let him go when he's ready.
Yeah. Chaz, hey man. We're in the 50 fathoms titanium. I'm guessing that's what the FF means. Very nice. Well, money always bringing in the big guns. Peter, hey man, good to see you. Gonna be interesting how you're gonna be the bad guy in the chat tonight. He had mentioned he's gonna be the bad guy tonight. Take up the place of Withered Manscape. Let's see. Anyone else? Leia is wearing nothing because I'm still in bed. There you go. Yeah, it's 6 a.m.
Creedor.
He will be wearing his Creedor Aichi 2.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. Oh, still, the option to trade for mine is still open, Leia. You can have mine. We'll call it even. Jonathan, hey man, thanks for joining us. Chaz is wearing the SNR 049, really cool limited edition spring drive Seiko. It's pronounced Lakeland. Okay, so it's not Lakeland. Dan, thought I saw Dan. There's Dan. Good to see you, Dan. MD Chaz. Hey guys, SBGP 015. Ooh, I love that watch. That's the new 60th anniversary quartz with the ceramic bezel. Really cool piece. All right. Okay, so we were gonna chat a little bit about bracelets. I was really curious about what you guys would prefer when it comes to bracelets. Like, if you guys have a preferred bracelet type, or do you just get what you get with a watch and kind of hope it's a good bracelet? But I was gonna maybe showcase some bracelets. We can talk about them right after. But these are this. I'll go with my favorite bracelet. Share my screen. So this probably is my favorite bracelet type. This is a beads of rice, so like a full beads of rice, where it's all beads, and I kind of prefer a straight end link, not one that conforms. So there's an SBGK 009. So this is a really nice Grand Seiko, which has a proper end link here. Let's go full screen on this guy. So this has a proper end link, but I don't think I like this. The Oris Big Crown Pointer Date has something kind of like this too, when it comes to their bracelet. But yeah, in general, this would be my favorite kind of bracelet. It's supremely comfortable, and it allows for a lot of air to pass through your wrist. It's great when it's hot, and yeah, it feels like fabric. So that's my bracelet of choice. There's a couple of other options I pulled up here. This is a bomb clip bracelet. Very interesting. It kind of you can resize it on the fly, because the clip, the end part of the clip, kind of goes into one of these gaps here, and so you're able to, kind of like a Milanese mesh, you're able to kind of size it really quickly, so you don't have to fiddle with screws and stuff. The tried and true, ever faithful oyster bracelet. I am not a huge fan of this, even though Grand Seiko uses this style of bracelet most of the time. Maybe the 5-link variant, like the Speedmasters kind, with the polished mid links. But I do like this bracelet, but it's all right. It's kind of like the Bob standard bracelet, mainly because Rolex is so popular and everyone's kind of ripped it off. But And then, of course, there's this super interesting 9-link bracelet from Omega that's in the Seamaster, Seamaster Professional 300. So you got these really intricate links. These don't tend to be too comfortable because it doesn't taper, and the end links kind of jut out in an awkward way, depending on which model you have. But I thought that would be a good kickoff point for bracelet talk. So we've got a couple of bracelet options. I don't know. Maybe we can start with Keith. Do you have a preferred bracelet, or do you kind of go with the flow?
I don't think I'm a good one to ask because I haven't tried on a bunch of different bracelets.
Okay.
Both of mine are oysters, and I'm trying to think if I've tried on other ones. So yeah, I don't think I'm a good person to ask. Sorry.
No, that's all right. But you do like your oysters then?
I mean, I like the idea of a beads of rice being really comfortable. They do look comfortable, but same with Jubilee. But I don't have a certain one. I think different ones can work for different situations. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, very cool. Sam, got any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I've dealt with many types of bracelets. I would have to say one of my favorite types is the Doxa Beads of Rice bracelet is one of my favorite bracelet types. But, I've dealt with the oysters. I've dealt with some strap code bracelets, mainly the Hexad bracelet, which is on one of my turtles. To be honest, I kind of want to experience, a whole wide range of bracelets. But what I'm more interested about and what makes me gasp at a bracelet sometimes is the engineering behind it. And what I mean by that is, when you look at the Cartier bracelets, when you can easily change those links out with the push of the button, or the clasp on a bracelet, literally a clasp is at times was actually a defining factor of whether I'd purchase this watch or not. I just love, I love a Rolex clasp. I have to say here, but those are just some thoughts.
Yeah, Rolex almost has like the gold standard of clasps, along with IWC. I think IWC has some of the best. Glasuda has really good clasps as well. I think a clasp is a huge defining feature of a bracelet. You can completely wreck a bracelet by putting a cheap clasp on it. I used to have a strap code engineer bracelet, and I really liked that because it kind of gave that feel of the Beads of Rice bracelet, but a kind of a different take on it. But the clasp just sucked. It was milled, so the swing arm was milled, and they were trying to make it all premium, but it was everything else was just below standard, and so that kind of ruined the bracelet for me. Bobby, what are your thoughts? Do you go for a specific bracelet?
Actually, I personally don't own the feel of this bracelet, but I do like the mesh bracelet. That actually feels really nice on the wrist. But of the watches I've owned, I've been wearing the Doxa the whole week this week, and the Beads of Rice is very, very comfortable. I can tell you what I hate is the clamshell clasp on a bracelet. The 5711 is a horrible bracelet because of that. Even forget about finishing, everything else. The clamshell, it's so hard to open and close. So even in the highest of height horology, if you get the clasp wrong, you can destroy your bracelet basically. I do love what Richemont is doing with Vacheron and saying the Cartier, the interchangeable. I think that's the future. Without using tools to change your watch from a leather to rubber to steel bracelet, I think that should be the future for every major brand. And of course, if and when Rolex does that, it's going to be like much more popular. But I think Vacheron and Cartier are ahead of the game in that aspect. I do special mention to, since we're talking bracelets, I would say the gold standard is AP. But that being said, there's a thing about finishing and feel. Like if you're asking me about feel, I was saying about the mesh bracelet and the Vacheron bracelet feels really well. But the look of the bracelet, I would say AP by far. is probably the best. And I don't like bracelets with polished center links.
Milgauss?
That's just me. Exactly.
Yeah, your milk.
Do you ever wear your Milgauss on the bracelet?
I only wear bracelets and rubber straps usually. I don't have the only one I actually have a leather strap is the IWC, and that's because it's a pilot's watch. It just feels wrong not to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great answer. How about you, Toran? What are your thoughts on bracelets?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bracelet guy, and I'll echo with I think what other people said is like a bracelet or clasp can make or break a watch a lot of times, like the wearability. So I guess for me, like some pet peeves are, like an uncomfortable clasp or like end links that stick out like too far past the case. I think based on my experience, I mean, this wasn't mentioned as an example that was shown, but I really like an H-link bracelet. I think Zinn does probably the best H-link bracelet in the mid luxury price range because the articulation is really good. It does taper a little, and also the way they sized individual links with hex screws. It's just really easy to size that way. You won't like damage your bracelet by trying to stick in a slot screwdriver or trying to punch out, like pins and collars. So
I don't know if Bobby Legs is in the chat, but I'm sure he'll have something to say about that.
oh, really?
He got it.
His last, although I hear there was kind of a kerfuffle last watch soup or something like that.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah,
We'll get into that, but so yeah. Also, I guess I really like a nice taper on a bracelet too. I think like the Seamaster bracelet killed it for me. Like I've had 2 Seamasters in the past, and just the bracelet that doesn't taper, and it doesn't really breathe that well in my experience either. Like I just find when it gets warm, and the clasp is really well engineered but uncomfortable too, in my experience.
Yeah, I didn't mind the Seamaster clasp. I haven't owned the new one, so the one with the ceramic wave dial. I've only owned the plain ceramic one, or the glossy Seamaster. So for that one, I didn't have any micro adjust in the clasp, and the end links kind of poked out. The 2 shiny parts kind of poked out of the watch head, so that was not the most comfortable for me. So I think Omega kind of killed it there, but the Railmaster had one of the most comfortable bracelets with the flat link. I think was really nice.
That's another one. Flat link bracelet of the Ed White is very, very comfortable. That's very high up there.
Yeah,
very good honorable mention there.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys mentioned or Bobby mentioned the press lock or press fit bracelets of the Pateks, right? I don't know why Patek doesn't do like spring-loaded ceramic snaps like Tudor does, right? Because it's supremely easy to close those bracelets and to open them, but they're so secure at the same time. It would make sense for a high horology company like Patek to
forget about Tudor. I mean, microbands are doing better class action than Patek, and that's saying something.
Yeah,
Patek is just hopefully. I guess whenever they release the new Nautilus in the future, I guess they did release one. I don't know. I didn't check how the bracelet is, but it doesn't matter now. But
yeah, we're not gonna get one. I mean, Bobby might have a chance, but
no, I'm not. You got to throw in serious dime to get a green dial 57.
But that was one of the things that happened to me too, because the Tudor bracelet is really nice, the one on the Black Bay 58, but the clasp ruined the bracelet pretty much for me because of the not articulating link at the end, and then the long swing arm. If you got one or the other removed, if you had a shorter swing arm and a non-articulating end link, then sure, it would have worked great. If you had an articulating end link and a long swing arm, would have worked great, but they had to kind of bodge it or mess it up with both of them. And the problem though it only comes up to play with a tiny wrist like mine, 6¼ inches. So
Well,
yeah.
that bothers me too, Sanjay. We have the same
Oh,
Black
yeah.
Bay 58 Navy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Toran had issues too, and you have a 19 centimeter wrist, right, Toran?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess it does affect bigger wrists at the same time. There's a comfort issue there. But I know Bobby Legs, he has the Black Bay 58. He has a 6¼ inch wrist, so around 17 centimeters, and he doesn't have any issues. He really likes the Black Bay 58 bracelet. So maybe you got to be in that Goldilocks zone to really enjoy the Black Bay 58 bracelet, but you kind of are going to have issues. Otherwise, yeah. So that's kind of why I've been obsessing about bracelets, because of the Black Bay 58. It's really driving me up a wall. So I've been trying to wear it on a strap, which we'll talk about soon too. We'll go to straps. But
how do you like your new Speedmaster bracelet?
I was going to mention that. That is on another level. The Speedmaster bracelet is so nice. I think because they're all circular, so the individual parts of the link, they make a full ellipse on each part, rather than having a flat part at the bottom that conforms to your wrist. It actually doesn't conform to your wrist perfectly, and so there's a lot of airflow. So it doesn't get muggy or it doesn't get sticky.
It gets airy, basically. That's true.
Yeah, I really love that about the Speedmaster bracelet. I mean, usually I'll take a watch off a bracelet within a day or two, and wear it on a strap because I prefer leather straps. That's my preference, my choice. But with the Speedmaster, I can't separate that bracelet. It's almost integrated. It's just so good. I know you have the shiny one, right?
Sapphire sandwich.
Yeah.
Bracelet. Yep.
Yeah.
You have similar taper, similar clasp. Everything else is just the.
Do you like the polish on it, Bobby? Though, because you just said you didn't like a polished center.
True. It's not too polished like the Rolex, because it's like 1/3 of the bracelet width is the center link, right? For Rolex, I think the Sapphire. If you correct me if I'm wrong, Sanjay, maybe it's like 1/5 polished. If you look at the width of the the bracelet, and also I'm okay with the center link being polished or like shiny if your dial is bright, like if it's a white dial or a silver dial. But if it's like a darker dial, you need to tone it down. That's I feel like that's just a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into the chat, see what you guys are saying here. Jason is saying it's pronounced Florida. That's great, Jason. Dan prefers no bracelet, which makes sense. We'll hop onto that soon. Justin EDC, hey man, good to see you. Speaking of bracelets, I literally just ordered the stainless steel bracelet for my older 43mm Aquas.
That's a great bracelet.
It is.
The Aquas, yeah. It
is really good. Let's see. Whoops. Chat kind of jumped a bit. Christopher Ward makes really good bracelets for the money. I've never handled a Christopher Ward. Have you guys got into any?
Yeah, and you know what? I think Zellos kind of copied their clasp now. It has like a very similar, milled portion, and then the under the clasp, it has like ratcheting toolless extension.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Oil Money says I'm leaning into the Asian bracelet stereotype.
Pizza race.
Chris, hey man, how's it going?
Good. Sorry I'm late.
No, that's all right. It's good to see you. How's your week going?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Had a lot of work this week. That's all.
Yeah.
Nothing much too exciting.
Yeah, that's good. We were just talking about bracelets and straps on watches, kind of our preference. Yeah, if you have a question or anything, feel free to chime in. You'll be our resident non-watch guy.
Excellent.
Sanjay, I expected you to trade in the Tudor because of the bracelet issue you had. Like, doesn't that make you not even want the watch? To me, the bracelet is so much a part of that watch. I know you could buy it without it, but to me,
Yeah.
like the fact that you didn't like the bracelet on it makes me not even want the watch anymore. Just because I have a small wrist too. I don't want to deal with that, and I'm not going to buy the Black Bay on like a leather strap or something like that. So
Yeah.
that's why I was expecting that to be the trade-in and not the Rail Master.
I could totally see you, Keith, in a boutique, saying about the 58. You're like, everything looks good, but my friend tells me your clasp is not good. So
it's a good thing I know that because
Yes.
when you try on a bracelet in the store, it's always way bigger than your wrist. I would have never noticed that in a million years.
No one can ever tell. No one can ever
Right.
tell until they size it under the wrist. Because so I was kind of playing around with it this week, and I held it over the watch, and I was squeezing it over. The clasp actually engulfs the watch. It's bigger than the head of the watch, lug to lug. So it curves, but it just engulfs it. It's not pleasant. So yeah, if you don't have like a 56 millimeter wide wrist, you might have issues. Maybe you can probably get away with it if your wrist is around 52, 53 millimeters, I think. But mine, I think the max I can go flat is 50 millimeters. So that clasp really bugs me. And you're right. I might be close to actually getting rid of it because it's bugging me.
Well, I just think it's crazy. Like, I was really considering buying that watch for a long time, and I came close to buying it last year. And I watched like every review there was of that watch, and there's a lot out there, and no one mentions it, even though there's a ton of people with small wrists. I don't know I don't know why that is, but that's why Engineer Wannabe YouTube channel is the one to go to. All the hard hitting facts right there.
Yeah, all the little nits that need to be picked. I'm your guy. I'll pick all the nits. No, I mean, yeah. Chances are you're gonna find a decent fit, and maybe the people who did review it, they didn't try to center the bracelet on their wrist, because I always try to get it right in the middle, if I can. If I can't, I try to get it so that it's comfortable. But this one, I got it in the middle. And then I had a jut out on this side. So I pulled it over a bit to this side. Maybe I'll go full screen so you guys can see. So when I sized it and I had the clasp in the middle, there was a jut out on this side because of the swing arm, right? So it was poking out this way. So I pulled the clasp in this way by taking a link out. And then I noticed there was a jut out on this side. On the inside of my wrist, and I thought, wait a second, that's never happened before. And that's when I realized the link doesn't articulate. So if no one actually tried to do that, especially if you had the watch for a week and it's not your watch, you just want to size it, review it, get it out of the way, you might not ever experience it.
Well, that's what I love about the bracelet I'm wearing is the Laurier clasp is so small. And I think both of the owners have like a 6-inch wrist. And people always complain, oh, I want on-the-fly micro adjust. I want more micro adjust. I'm like, no. Don't change it. It's fine the way it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to like have the same issue that, like other bracelets where it might be too big.
Yeah. And the thing I should mention is when I had the clasp upside down, it fits me. Because the swing arm just curves just enough so that it goes around my wrist, kind of like this guy right here. So this swing arm kind of hugs my wrist. So the Tudor does the same thing. So if the clasp is upside down, it works. But then the clasp is upside down, and I see upside down letters when I look at the wrist. So the underside of my wrist. So, I mean, if you're okay with that, then that's good.
The days are numbered for that watch, that's for sure.
But I was thinking that too, because it looks so good on an Oyster bracelet. It kind of has to be on an Oyster bracelet. And that's kind of why I've been looking at strap code options and stuff like that. But a few people told me strap code has a really long clasp as well. So
yeah, I've had the strap code on mine, Sanjay. I actually sold it because, well, one, the clasp is long, so that might bother you, and two, the end links it's a male end link that sticks out past the case of the Tudor, which wasn't great.
Yeah. And because of those slab sides on the Tudor, even though it's only 47 millimeters lug to lug, it kind of overwhelms the wrist. It has like a bigger watch presence to it. At least I found. So Chaz says he loves beads of rice bracelets as well. Peter is talking to Dan about just straps, leather, NATO, rubber. Leia, I know Leia loves leather straps. Dan as well. Most comfortable bracelet ever is on my Moser Green Dragon. Very nice. I had a dream that I got a Moser Green Dragon. I had a dream that I sold everything and just got the Moser Green Dragon, but I don't think I'd ever do that.
Is that like a grail?
No, not even.
Okay.
It was a bad dream.
That's a good looking watch, though.
It is. I'm just messing with you guys. I know Moser has some avid fans. Zin ruins their bracelet with a poor clasp, in my opinion.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, they could update their clasp. The thing is it's a solid clasp. They could definitely update it a little because it's been honestly the same clasp for over 10 years.
Right. I found that other company. Lost my train of thought. But there was we'll get back to it. Jason, I typically only like buying watches on bracelets because I can always throw on a strap if I want. But the reverse is not true. If I buy with the strap, I cannot always get out a bracelet. They won't match. Yep. Always buy on a bracelet if you can, and buy your own strap because straps are a dime a dozen, and generally aftermarket options can be better quality than OEM straps because OEM kind of usually cheaps out on those. I saw the Breitling Pistachio Chronograph the other week. I mentioned it here too. The strap felt like plastic. It was really bad. I mean, I'm sure it needs some breaking in, and maybe once it breaks in, it'll feel really good. But boy, it was like varnished. Like the glossy part of the strap felt like yeah.
The Snoopy also I had to change. That's the reason why I changed it to a bracelet.
Yeah,
was because the strap was not great.
Yeah. And yeah, if you go with a bespoke strap maker, maybe you'll spend $100, $150, but you'll get an insane quality strap. Yeah, I have this guy on a deluxe strap. A lot of people I know have been mentioning combat straps.
Yes.
My AD uses combat straps, so
I've gone. I don't know if anybody else have used combat straps. The only two leather straps I've had were combat.
Okay.
Aftermarket.
Yeah.
And he's really good. I think he's based in Montreal.
Yeah. The terrible bracelet on the Aquaterra kept me from owning one for years.
That's a very good point. Oil money makes the oil. I don't know if you've seen the Aquaterra in your AD.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a great watch. I mean, I think it's better than the 300 Seamaster.
Yeah.
As just a watch, but the bracelet. I don't know what they did with the bracelet.
I don't like the butterfly clasp on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
the Aquaterra has the polished center link, and it's kind of like a butterfly, like a hybrid butterfly style clasp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I've never actually sized it onto my wrist, so I've never had that kind of experience. But yeah, Penny's here. Hey, Penny, good to see you. Royal Oak bracelet and clasp are outstanding.
that's a standard.
Yeah, she has the silver dial, I think. Royal Oak. Hope you're still wearing it, Penny. Chat jumped again. Let's see. MD Chaz says, you think Omega will update the S&P 300 with a tapered bracelet like they did with the Speedy in the new future?
I think so.
Yeah?
Because like the Seamaster 300, the other model, the new one with the sandwich dial.
Yes.
His has a taper bracelet. Speedmaster just released a speed. I think they're not going to change the watch. So the best way they're going to change it is to change the bracelet now.
Yeah.
I think they're going to taper it.
Do you think it's like 4 or 5 years away though? Because
Oh no, I think it's going to be a couple of years.
yeah,
I feel like it's due. Taper bracelets are all in the craze now, right? Everybody wants a tapered bracelet.
yeah,
I don't know what did everybody feel here about a tapered bracelet?
yeah.
Does it has to be?
Has to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because if it's not tapered, it becomes a whole hunk of steel on your wrist, right? And the tapering is nice. Unless I guess if the watch head is super heavy, then a non-tapering bracelet might work. AKA say the Seamaster Professional 300. It kind of works, but yeah, always prefer tapered. I heard the new 36 millimeter Explorer. Adrian from Bark and Jack actually made a video that the lug width went from 20 to 19, and the bracelet taper is from 19 to 14. So it's really aggressive taper on that watch, and that makes me super excited to actually see one if I ever see one and try one on. Because
So the more aggressive the taper, the better it is. Is that the like from 19 to 14? That's like, it's like
well, that's close to the Speedmaster taper, I think.
Yes.
So the gradient is pretty close, and yeah, I mean, if it worked on the Speedmaster, it's got to work on the Explorer, right? Especially on the two-tone one.
What do you think of the aggressive tapering on the Oris Diver 65 bracelet?
It's really nice. I've owned one. I enjoyed that bracelet a lot.
Okay.
It was so comfortable, so pleasurable to wear. So yeah, highly recommend that. What are your thoughts? I'm sure you've tried it on too.
Yeah, it was when I first tried it on, I couldn't believe how small that clasp was.
Yeah.
So maybe it just visually took me a while to get used to it. But apart from that, it was a solid bracelet option. Yeah.
I think small clasps were here to stay, right? The Speedmaster, everything's going like this narrow.
Yeah.
It's like a band.
Yeah. There was before I got into watches, I was into smartwatches, and I wanted this a nicer leather strap for one of my watches or my smartwatch, and I went into this AD and got a leather strap. I put it on the watch, and I was like, no, this is a feminine strap because it gets so narrow. It was like a 20 to 16 narrow, which is literally what I'm wearing right now, and I thought it was a feminine strap because it got so narrow at the clasp. Now I really need a taper for it to feel premium. So maybe that means I'm more in touch with my feminine side.
I will say that's what makes me gravitate away from the 36 millimeter Bambino is it's a 17 millimeter lug width, and I think that my wife has a watch with that same lug width, and I do think that is a little too narrow for me.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe I could pull it off. I don't know, but
yeah, I my wife's watch, which is kind of my watch because she never wears it. It's a Presage 34 millimeter, so it's considered a ladies' watch, but I think it wears well on a man's wrist. But it has a 17 mil lug width, and I don't mind the width. But yeah, everyone's different. So Jason says, I don't always like bracelets that taper. A 42 millimeter watch with a bracelet that tapers to 18 millimeters is just odd to me. Yeah. 42. So 42 generally would have a 22 mil lug width. 22 to 18 is kind of aggressive. But that said, it's kind of the same gradient as a Speedmaster. So maybe you won't like the Speedmaster bracelet, Jason.
Like a lot of people don't like the taper of the Speedmaster bracelet, but I think it wears better than maybe it looks.
Yeah. I find it looks like a sports car. It looks really planted because of the bracelet, I think. For some reason. It looks like it's a lowered, like an F1 car.
Or keeps the watch a little lower. Yeah, you can see that.
Or GT3 RS or something, I had the bracelet and rubber on my SMP, but I prefer it on the rubber.
That's nice.
Fair enough. Save money on your Black Bay and buy it on a strap, and then pick up a strap code bracelet for it. Holden, good to see you, man. I just got the Mito Ocean Star chronometer, 600 meters. Its bracelet is far and way better than my Christopher Ward. That's, I think, the Mito version of the Planet Ocean. It's a really cool watch. I don't know if you guys have seen that specific watch. It's so cool for a low price. I think if Sanjay's unenthused by the Black Bay Blue these days, he should give it to Chris. Just saying. Yeah.
I don't think you turned it down.
Come get it, Chris. Hey, Colin, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. Matthew's here. Hey, Matthew. Sanjay, there's a new BB with ceramic insert. Enough said. Yes, the all ceramic Black Bay. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Hot takes? Hot takes on the ceramic?
Killer movement, but an ugly watch.
Yeah, black on black on black. At least they didn't go full Omega with it and make the loom black too, because I think the whitish loom makes it somewhat legible. But
I think the primary thing of wearing a watch is to read the time, right?
Yeah.
And if you can't read the time, then why buy a watch?
Yeah, agreed. That's why I don't get the fully blacked out watches. Like Seiko's done it, Omega's done it.
I think Omega has done the best one I've seen is the Dark Side of the Moon Speedmaster. Yeah. That one with the black ceramic and the white, that looks really stealth, but looks really good.
Yeah.
I think Zenith does an El Premio like that too. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the shadow. Yeah. Because it has a kind of a gray slate feel to it. It feels like a chalkboard, like a black chalkboard. It's really nice. Seriously consider getting one of those myself.
IWC has one too. The IWC Top Gun black ceramic. That's pretty.
Ceratinium?
Yep, Ceratinium black. Yes.
It's very nice.
So that's a pretty good one too.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to get it right. And this, I agree with Toran. The tutor didn't look good. I mean, it's great that they're joining the Metas Club, but
yeah, like if they put that in a normal Black Bay, like that would sell like crazy.
Yeah. I wonder how thick it is. I don't know if anyone's measured
14.4.
Okay. So, yeah.
Slightly thinner than a normal Black Bay.
Yeah. It's still going to be a huge slab side. It's not going to be fun to wear. For us slender-wristed folks. Matthew saying, I'm waiting to be seated at a restaurant, so only have a few moments. King Leathercraft in California is my favorite strap maker. All bespoke, beautifully handmade, and reasonably priced. Good to know. We'll check them out soon. Moser fans are psycho. I don't know any Moser fans. I think the rancher from last week seemed to be a Moser fan. Bobby, I think you're muted.
I think Colin owns a Moser. Colin owned a Moser.
Yeah.
Amin owned a Moser. I own a Moser. Oil Money owns a Moser.
Yep. Yeah, those are the nicest guys I know in the watch community. So Moser fans are not psycho, in my limited expertise. Jonathan Robinson's wearing his Max Bill on a Beads of Rice today. Oh, very cool. Beads of Rice. Can't beat Beads of Rice. Do you guys match your leather strap color to your shoe color when going out? I don't. But it happens occasionally. And
in Florida, we wear flip-flops.
Well, you could get like a flip-flop with a palm leaf, and then get the palm leaf Rolex dial, and yeah, you're set. You're all matched up.
I
Ready
would
for
say
night out?
definitely yes for that.
Yeah.
Sort of. So if you're wearing a brown shoes, like I don't think you have to match the color exactly. You just wear a brown strap. But I would never wear like a black strap with brown shoes or vice versa.
Yeah.
So
I do that. I like to live on the edge.
yeah. That's what's so great about bracelets is you don't have to think about that. It's just grab and go every day.
Yeah. That's true. Colin says he actually doesn't like the taper on the new Speedy. Makes the watch feel cheap to me. You know, it is rattly. It's a lot more rattly than he used to be. But he has a point, but I don't know, I kinda like it. They should have gone full vintage and make it like a pressed clasp with a really tinsel thin swing arm. That would have got the crowd going. Because I have a Beads of Rice, kind of like a recreation of the gay Ferrez Beads of Rice bracelet that I showed at the beginning, and that comes with a pressed clasp, so it's super thin. And I was going to bring this up later too. The pressed clasps, they're not pretty, and they don't look too nice. They don't look solid or sturdy, but they're so comfortable because it's just a nice flat surface. It's thin, it's super light, and they're really comfortable to wear. So I really like pressed swing arms. But I have to admit, if a company did release a watch with a bracelet with a pressed swing arm, I'd probably pass on it. So I'm a bit of a hypocrite. I know it wears better and it's more comfortable, but it just feels like a cost-cutting measure. Eric says my Yamaha Superman goes from 19 down to 16, so it's great. Lovely clasp size as well. Yeah, that's a good taper. Good balanced one. Taper is very functional if you consider ergonomics and how your wrist bends. Hey, that's a good point. So just catching up with the chat here. Tried on a few Speedmasters, didn't take to them. Oh. Random Rob's here. Hey Rob, good to see you. He's a bracelet guy, but really warming up to leather and vulcanized rubber. I still have to warm up to vulcanized rubber, but yeah, I'm a leather strap guy, but bracelets are nice. Rubber, I know it's not cheap, and rubber's, there's a whole art to doing rubber right, but when it's on a watch, it just looks cheap to me. Even
yeah,
like
Sanjay, I have the vulcanized rubber Vanguard strap on my Black Bay Blue, and it looks pretty nice.
it looks nice. It looks nice. I agree, and it looks really sporty. It looks good, but
I was waiting for the butt. Yeah.
What about when rubber's like fitted to the case and
that's
the
what
lugs?
the
That's what
Vanguard
it is.
strap.
Oh, okay.
It's beautifully fitted to the case.
Rubber strap. Yeah.
Yeah, beautifully integrated onto the case. It just
I love that look.
yeah. I always prefer leather over that. I'd always take a leather strap over.
So, Sanjay, what would you think of rubber on the underline, on the back, and then on the front you have leather?
I actually have a few straps like that. I'm okay with that. Because it gives the watch that look of a very well put together leather strap look, but then it gives you the functionality of water resistance, sweat resistance of the rubber. So I'm all for that. I have quite a few waterproof leather straps. That's what they call it, at least. Water resistant. And I'm super happy with those. You gave your wife a 34 millimeter Seiko Presage. It's amazing. You're still married. She only wears Casio, like this BX something or other. It's not even a G-Shock. It's like a $50 watch. She won't wear the Presage. So we never really went up the ladder there. My wife is really, really nice. Peter, that Black Bay Black is fantastic. Toran must be thinking of another watch. I don't mind the look of it actually. I at maybe 50% off. I'd buy one.
50%. Must really love that watch then.
Yeah. Goes to the 80 with all his watches, boxes, and papers. When
All
mentally
when he's doing he's just continuously jabbing Sanjay here. He's trying to
I will
provoke you
say-
to go to 80 today.
I think Bobby was in the chat last week and he brought that up. Like we were surprised that you traded in your Railmaster, but you had the box and papers with you. You must do you take all your watches with the box and papers just in case?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I
you
went
had that one
back.
specifically.
Well, no, I went back in and grabbed them.
Oh,
After Chris, I don't know if you're caught up on what happened, but I had this watch called the Railmaster. It was one of my favorite watches, probably my second favorite watch in my collection. Someone actually backed into me. The Prius that we have, the Prius Prime. So someone backed into it, and it was, I was somewhat agitated. I wasn't mad at anyone. Like I didn't yell at the person or anything. just so you know. But I
smash.
yeah, you didn't put your hole in the wall.
The most self destructive thing I could do was to just trade one of my favorite watches.
Oh, no.
So I traded it towards a Speedmaster, which is funny because we actually talked about the Speedmaster the last time you were on the stream. It was the racing watch, which went on the moon. That was the exact watch that I got, just randomly out of the blue. And yeah, I don't regret it. That's what happened. Caliber YQG checked out the new Speedy today for the first time. The bracelet does sag a bit, and it does seem cheap, but the AD said it is comfortable. By the way, I should shave with it as per the rumors. It's really not that bad.
No, that's BS right there.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's a one-off where one turned out to be super sharp. I'm sure it happened, but
You must
when I can't even.
Well, I guess it depends on how hairy your arms are too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
No, it doesn't matter how hairy your arms are. You're not going to shave with it.
I know, but it was like the concern was like it catches on to stuff and everything. I was like,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, actually, the worst bracelet I've ever had was an Omega, but it was on the Omega Dynamic. I don't know if you ever had one of those.
oh, the 70s watch.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yes.
Like it's a pilot watch, but it's interesting because it's solid in the center link, and like the outside links aren't really fixed, so it's like a centipede almost. But it like pulled my hair out like crazy.
Yeah. I heard the Timex Q, those ones.
Oh yeah, that's bad too.
Yeah. Not sure what that says there, but hi. MD Chaz, has Grand Seiko ever done a precious metal bracelet? Ooh,
that's a good question for Sanjay. Let's see what the answer is.
I don't know. I don't think so. Every precious metal Grand Seiko I've seen has been, on a strap.
Wait, Sanjay, is your two-tone one? Is that a two-tone bracelet or a strap?
No, the bracelet is just steel.
Oh, okay.
So it's two-tone, as in the bezel is gold, but everything else is steel, including the bracelet. A Grand Seiko does do a two-tone watch with a 44 GS case, but yeah, that one actually has gold on the bracelet, so gold mini links. But it does not have a full gold bracelet. I don't think I've ever seen a full gold bracelet Grand Seiko. Jet Young, how much does the thickness of a watch strap matter to you guys? It would matter. I've never had to think about it because I've never had a strap or a bracelet that was super thick. So I've never really had to put much thought into that. But if it was super thick, I wouldn't be pleased, I don't think, because it would be too heavy. The thicker the steel, the heavier the watch would get. Do you guys have any thoughts?
I have a bit of a rule. I'll just pull off this watch.
Yeah.
Essentially, the thickness of the strap should match the end of the lug. If it's greater than the end of the lug, I say no. So that's
Okay.
kind of just a small rule I follow.
Yeah, that makes sense. I misread this, Jet. Sorry, I was thinking of a bracelet, watch bracelet. Thickness of a watch strap matters hugely. Yeah, because I have a Hirsch. I forget what it's called, but it's like 4 millimeters thick all the way through, and it doesn't taper in thickness. So at the bottom, the Hirsch strap is like 8 millimeters thick because there's two 4 millimeter pieces on top of each other, and I can't wear that strap for any significant amount of time, which is a shame because I thought I'd really love that strap. But yeah, the thickness needs to taper if it's a thick strap. And Sam made a really good point. So we got a translation. Hey man, so he's from Baghdad and he likes watches.
Nice.
Pleased to meet you, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Chaz also said, I want a Railmaster with the blue jean dial. And I promise I won't trade it for a Speedy. Yeah. Good one. YQG. Okay, we didn't talk about straps, actually. I just realized. So, yeah, my preference for any watch would be for it to be on a strap. That said, if there was a bracelet option, I would always purchase the bracelet option first and then have the strap, because then you always have the bracelet with you. And selling a watch on a bracelet is much easier than selling a watch on a strap, at least if you're trying to sell it to a fellow watch enthusiast. That's what I found, at least. But yeah, I really like the look of a strap. I'll just I'll put this up for you guys. Yeah, so I think strap looks so elegant. Of course, on a sports watch, it's not ideal, a leather strap. But I mean, I really like this this hatch green, so this quilted look on the strap. There we go.
Was this one on sale too?
No, this wasn't.
Okay. Hey, nothing
So
wrong
I've
with
been
that.
looking at this strap for a while, and I was hoping it would go on sale because Deluxe actually had a sale recently, and it didn't go on sale. So I was just like, yeah, I'll just buy it.
That's the way to go. So
Yeah.
is this just as good as your green one then?
This is better, I think.
Mm.
It's softer. It's more supple than the green one. Ken from Deluxe actually got back to me on after seeing my review, and he mentioned that my green strap has a different lining, and that's why it feels really stiff. So it doesn't have like this Zermatt leather lining, but it actually has Butero leather lining, and so because of that, it's super stiff. And the green one is stiff, and I feel like it'll be more hardy, like it'll last longer, but we'll find out over the years with these guys. Yeah, I think this feels a lot better because it's so soft. And I'm glad for the cooler weather because I can go back to wearing straps because it was starting to get really hot. And yeah.
Welcome to my world.
No, I'm a winter and spring fall kind of guy. I don't like summer. I like the cooler months. I know, Chris, you're kind of like that too, right?
Well, you live in a good place for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're both winter people for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Canadians love the winter, right?
Not
Actually,
really.
Not usually, no.
No.
Usually we hide.
Yeah. Now the Canadians I see here in Miami during
I
between
mean,
the
I
months
live
of
in London,
November and
Ontario.
April.
We get way more snow than you do, Sanjay.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Yep.
But, I
Definitely.
mean, everyone, including my wife, they hate, like all the Canadians I know, hate winter. So we're very rare, Toran, Chris, and I. Toran, I mean, you like the summer too, though, right?
Yeah, I don't mind it. But I'm like you. I don't like it when it's too hot. So like fall really is like one of my favorite seasons.
Yeah. Well, money, Michael, you make a good point. I should probably stop talking about deluxe because I run the risk of being called a shell. So yeah,
I've been looking
Actually,
at the
Sanjay,
deluxe.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually name dropped you after your Deluxe review. Like, I contacted Deluxe to see if they would give me like a deal. No dice.
no, they don't know me. I mean, yeah, he
Your
saw
word
me.
means nothing to them. So just so you know.
Yeah, I'm dead to them.
Yeah.
Snow in the prairies suck. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I've been looking at the deluxe watch roll. It's kind of unique. It's not circular. It's like a hexagon, or I forget the exact. And then they have pillows that like kind of crunch down and back, so it accommodates smaller wrists.
Right.
But it's like $300, or it's in $200 to $300. So that's a think over.
No, I wouldn't spend that kind of money on anything really. That is like an accessory. Like even a watch winder, I wouldn't spend more than $100 on a watch winder. Not that I'd ever use it, but you know.
I reached out to Mirage watch rolls, which are less than $100, and asking about smaller pillows. And they said they're working on some, so I might just wait for that.
Yeah. Well, Money says, I really respect your wife now that I know she won't ever put on the Presage. You know, I actually was considering buying the red dialed 34 mil Presage because it's a red dial watch and I don't have one. But yeah,
Looks good.
It is really nice. The cocktail time dial. MD Chaz was saying straps are a great way to change things up. It can make a watch feel more dressy or sporty based on the material. You can spend $30 and get the feeling of a new watch. Yep. Very true. Do you guys have a preference over strap and bracelet? I know some of us have to go bracelet a la Bobby because of Florida heat. But Keith, I know. What do you think? Would you go strap or bracelet?
In my experience, the straps are more comfortable, but I like how a bracelet looks better, so I tend to gravitate towards bracelets.
Yeah. How about you, Sam?
I'm kind of even. I like to always switch things out because, you know, whenever you change a strap, bracelet, you kind of change the entire look of the watch. So instead of like, you know, buying a completely new watch altogether, what I sometimes do is like, you know, maybe I can buy, you know, a different strap. I put it on a different strap and it actually feels like a brand new watch. It gives you that feel. So, yeah. And yeah, with regards to straps, just recently, you know, I've got this Hirsch strap. And the only reason I purchased this one was because I had a gift card to one of these stores. So I didn't want to buy a watch. So I decided to go for a strap. But one thing regarding straps I kind of dislike or kind of tells me that it may be of lower quality is when this is the keeper that has come off and broken.
Oh,
and
no.
This keeper has come off and broken because the person making this strap, this is probably a mass-produced strap. This is one of their artisans leather one. So one of their more better ones. But they just glue these pieces together.
Yeah.
Instead, an actual like leather maker would actually put in one stitch. They'd put in a stitch, and that's kind of like, you know, it stops that from happening. So within 2-3 months, I had this issue. But usually I do like straps because they are much more exotic to me personally than a bracelet. I would love to, like with some of my watches, I have a ostrich leather strap. You can get stingray. I really like doing that with certain watches because it gives off a completely different vibe to a watch. It can make it look so luxurious when you do go for that kind of option. So I'm even, but maybe I'm a bit biased towards straps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Yeah, and like Hirsch straps are like a dime a dozen here too in Canada. Any any jewelry store, any watch store you go into, they've got like this big rack of Hirsch straps, and yeah, generally, they charge way too much. They're probably like $20 to $30 straps that they charge $60-$70 for. So I kind of, I used to go just because of the convenience of them. I've kind of amassed a little collection of Hirsch straps, but I don't think I'll purchase another Hirsch strap because the same things happened to me with the keeper coming out, and I actually had to modify a keeper on one of those artisan straps because the keeper was far too loose, so it didn't actually do its job. It didn't keep, so I had to peel the strap off and then re-cement it together and tighten it so that it actually did its job. So, once if you actually buy from Hirsch and go into their upper catalogs, which you won't find in the store, until you get to that point, you're not going to get good value for your money with Hirsch. At least that's what I found. Bobby, what do you think? Oh,
I was
sorry.
gonna say, I like all your little fixes for everything. Like for me, if the keeper was too big, I'm like, well, I guess I need a new strap now. But you always have a way to modify stuff.
You gotta try to fix it. Bobby, what do you think? Strap or bracelet?
Well, I prefer bracelets during, I guess, our season from spring, winter, and fall, which is basically summer for everybody else. And then for summer, I usually put it on a rubber strap.
Okay. Yeah. So you wouldn't wear a bracelet even in the summer because
I do if it's convenient, but if I had a choice with rubber, because it's so humid out here, I mean, really, even bracelets get rubber. It's easier just to wash and clean.
Yeah. How about you, Toran?
I concur with Bobby. Like bracelet most of the time. I like the integrated look, but in the hot summers, like I tend to throw most of my watches on a vulcanized rubber strap.
Yeah.
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 A lot of watches are, so it depends on the watch too. Like a Panerai and like Aquanaut and stuff like that are better on straps only. You don't never see a Panerai on a bracelet. You never see.
Yeah. You know what? Now that you mention that, I've never seen a Panerai on a bracelet.
I've seen a
There are.
titanium Panerai on a bracelet before. But
I mean, there are.
doesn't look
There
good.
are.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. Aquanaut doesn't look good. It seems like it's that cushion case with a bracelet, kind of.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bobby. Aquanaut does not look good. Just in general.
In general.
Chris, do you have any comments or thoughts? Questions?
Yeah, like last time I was on, I kind of pointed out that I've always thought the bracelets were kind of cooler. It just it kind of really fits. Obviously, like it's built for the watch, and it just like it's very smooth.
Yeah.
But over kind of hearing all about all this stuff and whatnot, I just kind of realized that I'm a fish out of water, and there's a lot to do with the straps that I just don't know about. So I've got a lot of research to do, because like you're talking about the half leather ones that have the rubber underneath for comfort and stuff, and
Yeah.
a lot of stuff sounds really cool. Yeah, I might be crossing over.
Yeah, so just for your benefit, just wanted to show you, like, this is a the Tudor Black Bay that we were talking about. So I kind of put it on this leather strap. It's got kind of a rubber underlining, so that it's sweat resistant.
Yeah.
It
This
looks great on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one, yeah, that looks really awesome. I like the blue against the brown. It
Yeah.
looks really classy.
This is kind of like what it looks like normally. So this one
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a completely different watch, right?
Yeah, and I think that looks probably the best. Like, it looks so good on this Oyster bracelet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It looks like it should live on it. But yeah, the fact that you can put it on a nice brown leather strap is a huge plus.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
this is that Speedmaster with the ultra tapering bracelet.
I like that.
And there's the Old Faithful. Put it away. Put it away. Don't show me. That's the real master. So
R.I.P.
yes, rest in pieces. Dan mentioned a good point. There are elastic straps as well, like the Marine Nationale or MN Erica's elastic straps. Those are super comfortable. They're washable. The kind of fabric, like those are super nice.
Do they last pretty well?
I don't know actually. I would think so. Does anyone have extended experience with the elastic? No. Yeah, I don't have any experience with them. And then I've only tried them on, so I can't comment on its longevity. But I would think since it's fabric, it would last quite a while. Maybe 3-4 years.
Is this Erica's original?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one.
Okay.
Like when you become a Time and Tide Club member, they give you an Erica's original. So yeah, it is elastic, and there's a significant difference between buying an Erica's original and like let's say any other paratrooper strap out there. There is a big difference. I would lean towards getting an Erica's. It is stretchy. I like it. It conforms to the wrist. Yeah.
Well, it tells a lot when Oris actually goes to Erica's Originals to get their strap for the Caliber 401 Carl Bursch original strap. Did I kind of glitch out there?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Right.
Oris is censoring you.
Yeah. Oris is cancer. Yeah, so they went to Erica's Originals to get their strap for their limited edition Diver 65. So that's telling a lot. Let's see, Peter. Let's close out the chat for tonight. I probably spend more in the end, but I try to fix everything first. Yeah, you got to try to fix it. I have the factory gray suede strap on my Nomos Club Campus 38, and it's fine. I like it. Nomos straps are really good too. I have a couple of their shell cordovan, so I do like their straps. They last. I wore the shell cordovan through the heat of last summer, and it's as good as new. I got a shell cordovan strap that had a factory defect, and I thought, hey, I can use this opportunity to kind of really torture test this strap, and I wore it through the summer. And last summer was one of the hottest summers we've had. I don't know if you remember, Chris, but it was hot for a long time. And it survived, and it's doing well. I don't ever wear it anymore because it's got that defect. But so I think we'll wrap up for tonight. Maybe we'll quickly talk about this Seiko here. So everyone who doesn't like Seiko, bow up. This one actually has been coming around our location. So in Toronto, these have been popping up at ADs. Do you guys have any thoughts on this? It's a 62 mask recreation. Actually has a ceramic bezel, white dial, kind of has that Tokyo Olympics look to it, which I think Seiko's really embraced because they've released quite a few models that look like that. Do you guys have any interest at all in that?
I think it looks great.
What's MSRP?
It is $1,200, I think.
Yeah, 1,200 US, I think.
US, yeah.
Oil money just said my cue to exit.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say that, yeah. Again, the indices. I don't think this is the original thought, but I really wish the indices were surrounded by the same blue of the bezel or something like that. It's definitely missing that. Otherwise,
yeah, I watched a review on it today from Aiden, like Escapement and Watch. I think he said it wasn't ceramic though. I thought he said it was metal, but they put some sort of lacquer or something on it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lacquered finish.
I thought it was. Yeah, I read somewhere it was ceramic, but
Okay.
I was surprised to hear it was ceramic because usually Seiko doesn't do that because they
Yeah,
usually
if you
do
look at
that.
the luster of the bezel, it doesn't look ceramic. I mean, it looks more like whatever they use for a lot of their higher end prospects divers.
Yeah.
So if it's at your AD, Sanjay, did you try it on?
No, I have to make
Oh.
an appointment. We're still in the lockdown, so
Oh, okay.
I made an appointment to go take a look at it and to take a look at the Sharp Edge GMTs. So they're super affordable watches, especially a GMT at that price point. It's it's unheard of, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's a little larger than what I'd like, but yeah, hopefully I won't come back with a watch.
Say goodbye to the Speedmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tudor especially.
No. Well, yeah. Well, I won't say no because Tudor might leave. Not for Seiko though. See, the only reason I say that is because of the 6R35. I've been let down so badly with the 6R35 that I can't do it anymore. So that movement has to be better toleranced, better quality controlled, and once they commit to something like that, then I'll reconsider it. But I think I'm done with 6R35s. But that said, the GMT movement, I forget what the movement number is, but that's using a different kind of movement with a 28A beat rate, and they do much better quality control on that GMT movement because it's based on the 6R27. The 6R27 is just a upper level movement, even though it's a lesser number than the 6R35, which is confusing. But yeah, I'm just rattling off numbers and letters now. So. But yeah, let's call it quits for the night. Do you guys have anything to plug? Keith, how about you?
Nothing.
Follow him on Instagram.
I'm in the Super Best Watch Friends.
Yes, there you go.
Find me there.
Keith is plugging the Super Best Watch Friends group on Discord. Sam, how about yourself?
Nothing as such yet.
Nothing coming up. Chris, how about you? You got to plug anything?
Nothing for me. Thanks, though.
You're welcome. Bobby is Watch Medicine on Instagram and YouTube. Go check him out. Got anything else to plug, Bobby?
No, I might be getting something soon. So
yeah,
but I won't be next weekend. But I'll probably try to show it on the Super Best Watch Friends, I guess. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Can you say if this is like a gold color, or is this fulfilling the last color, or?
No. It's actually it's a color theme though, so it is color. And I was at ends for a while, but I'm hoping once I get it, I'm superstitious. Once I get it, I'll explain my reasoning. So
Okay.
yeah. You'll definitely be one of the first to know.
Well, we can pick it apart because I know last time Bobby said that it's an upgrade, so one of his watches has to go.
True.
So we gotta.
That's actually quite a right point right there.
Well, yeah, I know you weren't super happy with the black dial watch
Oris.
that you have. So
Sorry,
that
the
could be
Omega.
possibly the upgrade. Otherwise, it's hard to pick an upgrade for your other watches. So
Yeah. So I'm guessing Panerai.
Oh,
We'll see.
interesting.
Toran. Toran actually had a really, really great review on the Vanguard watch straps. It was really well put together. Thanks, Toran, for that. Do you have anything to plug coming up for this week?
Yeah, well, I was going to plug that video, but because it does tie into the chat we just had. So it's not just the Vanguard strap for the Tudor; it was also for the Rolex Explorer that I have. Unsolicited review, and thanks for the feedback. So, yeah, feel free to check it out on Everyday Watch Guy on YouTube, and I guess check out my Instagram if you want.
Yeah, and you can tell that he's really used that Explorer strap. It was.
Yeah, it was way beat up compared to the Tudor. Right?
Yeah. So it's a long-term review. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks for spending this time with us. We really appreciate it. We'll definitely see you next week. Until then, everyone, take care and be safe.
Thank you.
See you guys.